The College Planning Edge. Multiply your odds of getting into your dream college and get your hands on thousands of dollars of fat, juicy scholarships. Brought to you by Lockwood College Prep, helping college-bound families get the edge in college admissions, financial aid, scholarships, and test prep.
All right, Andy Lockwood here with a mobile edition of the College Planning Edge podcast. I do these podcasts for stressed out parents of college-bound teens who are just kind of upset or beside themselves or don't know where to start when it comes to figuring out if the kid can get into any decent colleges, whether they can possibly pay for college, what the hell they're going to college for in terms of majors that could lead to satisfying and actually lucrative careers to get off mom and dad's payroll, test prep. So what I want to talk about today is based on I guess it was kind of an email exchange, frantic email exchange that we had a couple of days ago with a client who shall remain nameless. But the gist of the exchange was that Pearl had, my wife, who does all the financial aid forms, she had done his FAFSA and a CSS profile for his son's college last year. I'm recording this in the beginning of July. And he'd gotten his award, which was pretty good, in March or April. And now in July, the financial aid office took away a chunk of the money. And he said he called us 3 times and emailed us 3 times in the last week. It's very frantic. And of course, as a side note, it was 4th of July week, and we saw 1 email from him, and so far no calls. That's not really the point of this podcast, but well, I guess the point is don't panic about everything. It's not going to really help. So here's what happened. There's really 2 things that happened. One was that they had the financial aid office had repeatedly asked for follow-up information from the client regarding some real estate that he owned, because real estate is a little bit funky in terms of how to value it. Most real estate owners chip away at the value because they depreciate it and do all sorts of tax stuff, which I'm not really qualified to talk about, but the gist of it is that the value of real estate on a tax return is often a lot lower than it is on a financial aid form. Just to keep it simple. The problem was that the financial aid office had emailed the client and the client's son, who's attending that school, and those emails had gone unresponded to. So now, months later, without any response, and they probably sent 1 email to each. And I actually had a very similar situation with another client whose daughter received a confirming email about what she should do next steps to put her loans in place. And the same thing happened. That email was not responded to either. So there's so many ways that parents and kids sabotage themselves in the college process, whether it's getting into college or paying for college. This is one of the most common ways. It's also one of the stupidest ways. And I don't mean that our clients are stupid. I just mean that it's stupid easy to fix this and to make it a point to check your email after you file your forms and continue to monitor your email box, your inbox, after, in the days and weeks after you have filed. It's different than a tax return. With a tax return, you file it and you're done. And sooner or later, they're like, okay, send us the money, and it's over. But with financial aid filing, what Pearl always says is that once you file the forms, that's just the beginning. That's not the end. So you have to be aware that it doesn't stop when you filed. You have to keep following up or making a point to check to see if there's any additional information required by the financial aid offices. So what we always advise our clients to do is file the forms and then call a couple days later, make sure the financial aid office received your FAFSA and your CSS profile, and ask if they need any other information. Sometimes they'll tell you, yeah, we got everything, don't worry, we'll be getting back to you. Other times you might get a response like, well, we don't download anything for a couple of months. If that's the case, then you just make a note to follow up with them in a couple of months, just to make sure they have everything. Because what you don't want to do is be in a situation where you find out too late that they don't have everything and they ran out of money and that's over. Season's over. That actually happened with the second example I was mentioning about the client's daughter, who they need to come up with money to pay for a semester abroad. And Pearl, even though she's working on the forms for this coming year, she said, you can probably still borrow money retroactively from last year. Why don't I just throw in a FAFSA for last year, because the deadline to apply is June 30th. So she did that in plenty of time, but what happened was that daughter did not get the email asking her to complete I think it was a promissory note and something else, loan counseling, and she failed to do that by the June 30th deadline, even though the loan was in place, I think 2 to 3 weeks prior to June 30th. So that, unfortunately, caused an issue that we're still trying to resolve, actually, as of the date that I'm recording this, where the client, to his credit, did follow up and say, hey, do you have everything? Just want to make sure everything's okay. And whatever response he got indicated that there was nothing else for him to do. And then they ultimately said, yeah, by the way, she never signed this and you can't get the money. Kind of dumb, kind of against the interests of the college, because they love getting paid from the student lenders. So that's the end of this episode. I just really wanted to get that one main point across. It's nothing too intellectual, but it's such a common thing. We talk about this all the time. You need to just be hyper vigilant. Just assume that even if you've done everything right, someone at the financial aid office is going to say, oh no, we didn't get that. And they're just treat them like they're third graders, or they're morons, or they're moronic third graders. Not to their faces. Just assume that everything has to be verified and re-verified and double re-verified, and you'll be set. Only the paranoid survive in financial aid. All right, if you have any questions at all, there's a lot of resources on our website, lockwoodcollegeprep.com, and I'd love you to leave a review on iTunes. That helps us expand our reach. Please pass this along. And if you have any questions about your own personal financial situation, financial aid, or getting into college situation, which we also help a lot of families with, just shoot us an email at vip@andylockwood.com, and that is a shared email that my assistant and I and Pearl all monitor. So one of us will get back to you about your question and see if we can help you out. All right, thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Andy Lockwood. Don't forget to visit our website, lockwoodcollegeprep.com, for some more free, valuable information on how you can multiply your chances of admission to your dream colleges and qualify for thousands or tens of thousands of dollars of fat, juicy scholarships along the way. Visit lockwoodcollegeprep.com for information on our free upcoming workshops and webinars, and to download a copy of our #1 best-selling book, How to Pay Wholesale for College. That's lockwoodcollegeprep.com. Bye-bye.